All right. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining the latest Cloud Office Hours call. My name is Tim Tetrick. I'm a partner technology strategist with Microsoft, and joining me on the call is Jen Pettit, who is our Office 365 scorecard lead in U.S. SMB&D, which is small, medium business and distribution. And today we are going to talk to you about Outlook, favorite features, and how to demo. So no slides today. I've decided, I think you're familiar with the format. We're going to do about 20 minutes or so of presentation and then open it up to Q&A. I'm going to dedicate all 20 minutes to some hands-on demonstrations. So no slides, just hands-on demo today with Outlook. So, and by the way, really encourage you to do demonstrations with your customers and partners. And I hear over and over again from customers and partners just the impact that demonstrating the services in general has, really helping customers to get it, really helping it to land. The features and capabilities, seeing them in action just is a tremendous value. So encourage you to do that. And just so you know that the demo environment I'm going to be using today is the MEC demo environment. So I know a lot of you are familiar with that. MEC stands for Microsoft Experience Center. Again, a lot of you are probably familiar with that. If you're not, there was actually a prior Cloud Office Hours session on the MEC demo and MEC itself, so you can go out and get that on-demand recording, or you can go to www.usmec.com to get started. But as a partner, you can go out and provision at that site, one of these MEC demo tenants that allows you to do, again, a separate dedicated demo environment for doing demonstrations of Office 365 to customers and prospects. And that is the environment I'm going to be using today. So just so you know ahead of time, you can do, you have this very same environment and be doing these very same demonstrations, again, to your customers and prospects. So definitely take advantage of that. Feel free to ask Q&A in the IM window. Again, after the demonstration's over here, we're going to break and then open up the phone lines for some audio Q&A, and then again, you can continue to use the chat window as well. So let me switch over to my demo environment. Okay, so here we are in Outlook. So, a lot of the features I'm going to be showing today are, just native to Outlook itself. Some of the features, capabilities that we're going to be looking at are things that are, get lit up within Outlook from the back-end Office 365 features. So we're going to be looking at both of those today. So I want to get started with a feature probably a lot of you know and love, a feature called Conversation View. So Conversation View allows you to reduce the clutter in your inbox by grouping together emails that share the same subject. So if we look in my inbox here, we can see a lot of emails about this Contoso 4th annual hiking trip. And you can see they're kind of littered all through here, really cluttering up our inbox. Very common, right, when you're part of a distribution group and everybody's responding and you're getting, again, your inbox just cluttered with these emails. So if I go up and choose under View as Show as Conversations, again, what it does here is it groups all of those emails that share the same subject together, so that just really cleans up my inbox, helps me to, find the things that I need to find. Everything associated with this annual hiking trip is, again, located together under this, one single thread. So just a very nice, ability to an experience for helping clean up your inbox. I also want to look at inline reply. So let's say if I get an email here from Julian, I want to respond to this email. I'm going to do a reply here. If you're used to previous versions of Outlook, a reply used to pop up into a separate window. Now by default, it's an inline reply. So the beauty of this, and I really enjoy this because if you're like me and you get a bunch of emails going, a bunch of replies going, pretty soon you have your desktop littered with a bunch of windows, and it's nice to have it, just contained within this inline reply experience. You can pop it out if you want to, but by default it's an inline reply. And the other thing I really appreciate is, let's say as you're working through this email here, if you're like me again, get distracted, maybe an email comes in, maybe you start working on something else. Again, previous versions of Outlook, unless I remembered to go check my drafts folder, sometimes at the end of the day I would go, oh geez, I forgot I was working on a couple emails here, sitting here in drafts folder that I didn't notice. So now, whenever you start working on a reply or a forward, and then you move off of it, it automatically marks it as draft. So great experience as you're working in your inbox during the day. You can easily spot those drafts that you're working on, go back and finish up. Also want to talk a little bit about peeks. So peeks is this capability that gives me a quick view into my calendar, for example, without having to switch into the full calendar mode. So sometimes I just want to get a quick little peek into my calendar. You see, you get this nice little interactive experience, say, hey, what do I have going on the 26th? Again, without leaving my inbox, without having to switch to the full calendar mode. I can do that just by hovering over calendar. I can also get that for people, my favorites, favorite contacts, and tasks as well. I get this peek mode. Also touch mode. So, touch mode gives me the ability to move between a touch mode and a mouse and keyboard mode, depending on the type of device that I'm on and how I want to interact with the device. So let's say I'm on a 2-in-1 device or something. I want to, I disconnect that from the keyboard. I want to work in a tablet mode. I can click touch here, and you can see it turns it into a touch mode, kind of spaces everything out, makes it very, optimized for a touch experience. You see I get these little quick actions over here on the right. Very, handy to use with my thumb on a tablet or a slate. And then again, depending on how I want to interact with the device I'm on, maybe I want to switch back into a mouse and keyboard mode. I can easily do that. You see it kind of tightens everything up, optimizes it for that mouse and keyboard experience. Next, Office apps. So Office has an app store. If you're not aware, it's similar to the app stores that you use in other parts of your life for your smartphone and other places. So the Office App Store, is full of these cool little apps that you can download into the Office experience, including Outlook. Let me just show you a couple examples of those. So one I want to show you is called the Bing Map app. What it does is, again, installs a little app installs into Outlook, and whenever there is an address in an email, it will automatically pop the Bing Map app. And then if I want to utilize that, I can just click on that. It'll automatically map that address into a nice little inline map right within the Outlook experience. So just a nice little productivity experience there. Usually I would have to copy this address. I'd have to, open a browser, go to Google Maps or Bing Maps, paste that in. Now with just one click, I can automatically map that address. And not just a static map, it's an interactive map. I can move around. I can, zoom in and out. I can pop out to get directions or view in a large map. So again, great little productivity time saver there. Another one I'll show you quickly is this Action Items app. So the Action Item app looks for words in the email that denote an action or a task, something like this. And if it sees that, it'll pop this Action Item app. I can click that and then easily turn that into a task to follow up on later. So this is just a couple quick examples. I really encourage you to go out to the Office App Store, find those cool little apps that are out there, use them in your daily business, but also, be a value add to your customers by showing them the cool apps that are out there and letting them, take advantage of them in their own businesses. Also, want to talk about DLP, data loss prevention. So really powerful capability built into Office 365, really exposes itself in Outlook. But DLP is a feature that allows me to prevent sensitive information from being sent outside of my organization, and that can be either accidentally or maliciously being sent outside of my organization. So let me show you how this works. So we have this email here with a credit card number, and let's say as a user I try to forward this email to Andrew here at litware.com, who's outside of my organization. So with data loss prevention, I have a rule in place that basically says, hey, when you see these sensitive data types, do not let this email be sent outside of the organization. So you can see here, I get notified with this nice little policy tip, lets me know this message can't be sent because it appears to contain sensitive information, and that Andrew at litware.com is not authorized to receive this type of information. I can even hover over policy tip here, and you'll see it actually recognizes it's a credit card number. So it knows that that's the type of sensitive information that we have here. So with DLP, there's a number of templates that you can use right out of the box that look for some of the common, sensitive information types like credit card numbers, social security numbers. You can also define your own sensitive information types that you want to look for and protect against. So, and then as part of that, you have the full transport rules engine as well. So I can do things like define, certain groups of users are not able to send this email. So that's where we're at here. You absolutely cannot send this email. If I try to, go up and send this email, it will, let me know you are not authorized to send this email. Maybe some, user groups in my organization, I'll just warn them with a policy tip, but I'll allow them to override it. Or maybe I'll allow them to override it with a blind copy to a compliance officer or a manager or something like that. So with the full power of the transport rules engine, what are the sensitive data types? Who's going to be allowed to send? To who can they send? Will it be blocked? Will it be warned? Will it be blind copied? Great power there in data loss prevention. A capability that most small businesses, previously to Office 365, wasn't on their radar because they could never afford this type of technology. Now it's part of E3. They can have this great, capability that, previously only large enterprise customers were able to have. Rights management. So I want to talk a little bit about that. So rights management allows me to send an encrypted and protected email to other users in my organization. So let me just show you a quick example of that. Maybe I'm starting a new email here. I got some sensitive information I'm going to send to a colleague. I don't want him to be able to forward that on or be able to print or copy out of it. So I can go into options here and I can set some permissions on this email. So for example, I can set a do not forward permission. If I do that, you see here that recipients can read this message, but they cannot forward, print, or copy content. So a great way to, again, encrypt and protect sensitive information. This rights management feature is really intended for other internal users that are using Azure Rights Management. If I need to send emails to anyone at any email address, I can do that and make sure that they're encrypted, both in transit and at rest. I can use a great feature called Office 365 Message Encryption, included as part of Azure Rights Management. Again, allows me to send encrypted emails to anyone at any email address. We'll look for, again, the sensitive information types, keywords, encrypt that information. The recipient, if they try to forward it, if they try to reply to it, it will stay encrypted, again, in transit and at rest. Great feature. A lot of customers need and use this feature. The online archive. So I want to talk a little bit about that. So the online archive provides a repository for archiving email, really seeing the online archive replace traditional PST files. So I'm sure everyone's aware, kind of traditional PST files for archiving information, but there's, some limitations with traditional PST files. They are only available on the local machine. They're not backed up unless you're specifically backing them up, meaning that information could be lost in a hard drive crash or something like that. So really seeing people move to this online archive, replacing traditional PST files. So it's an online archive. It's in Microsoft's data centers, backed up, secure. It travels with you, as we'll see in a couple minutes when we get to Outlook web app. You can access the archive from virtually anywhere. And also, in some plans of Office 365, it's an unlimited storage archive. In addition to the 50 gigabyte primary mailbox, so really taking care of those storage concerns as well. So a number of ways you can interact with the archive. You can go in and just set up folder structures, drag and drop items in. But another way is to utilize policies, archiving policies. So I can go and set up archiving policies for items or folders, and so when that period of time elapses, items will automatically get moved to that online archive. And I can combine that with retention policies as well. So maybe after a certain period of time elapses, I want items to be deleted. And I can, use these policies together. I can give users a choice of policies, as we see here, or as an administrator, I can lock this down and give, apply specific policies to my users. The online archive also, in Office 365 includes plans for compliance archiving as well. So, known as in-place hold or litigation hold, where if someone tries to permanently delete or tries to edit an email, it will be permanently retained and available for e-discovery. So another powerful feature, utilizing the online archive to make sure items are permanently retained, available for e-discovery, even just for backup purposes, needing to get at an email that accidentally got deleted 3 months ago or something. Calendaring. Of course, I want to talk a little bit about calendaring. I think a lot of us take for granted the great calendaring functionality when using Outlook with Exchange or Exchange Online. Be sure and that your customers know the full power of calendaring and the ability to share calendars and to see free busy information, especially those customers that are coming from POP and IMAP type environments. They really don't probably know the power of calendaring and again, the ability to share calendars with through Outlook and the calendaring capability. So again, rich calendaring capabilities, ability to share my calendar with others, the ability to view other people's calendars subject to permissions, really powerful feature for setting up meetings, for finding availability across users and teams. I can view calendars side by side. I can view them in this cool little overlay mode. Again, a great ability to find availability amongst a team or a group of users quickly and easily. So my personal contacts, again, a really nice experience with the new Outlook here, giving access, contact photos, ability to see all of my personal contact information here within Outlook as well. And also want to talk, so this is the Outlook desktop client, but also want to talk a little bit about, again, Outlook web app. And be sure, and for customers that haven't seen OA and haven't had access to OA or haven't used it for a while, really show off this great capability as well. So within the Office 365 user portal, we have this great little app launcher. They can get to all the different offerings, features, capabilities within Office 365. We're going to go into Mail here, which is OA. Again, the OA capability gives really browser-based access to users' email from virtually anywhere, from virtually any browser. So this, this rich view here of Outlook web app, not only supported on IE, but also supported on Firefox, on Chrome, even Safari on the Mac, again, allows users to access their email, calendar, contacts from virtually anywhere, virtually any machine. So if they happen to be at a shared computer or at a kiosk somewhere, still full access to again, mail, calendar, contacts. And a very similar, look and feel to the Outlook desktop client, right? So for users that are used to using Outlook desktop client, this isn't a big leap for them. No retraining required. They jump into OA here. They say it's a very familiar experience to them. They know how to, get busy, get productive immediately. And we see a lot of the features from the Outlook desktop client making their way into the Outlook web app client. So things like online folders, the in-place archive, also known as the online archive, again showing up here within the browser experience. You get drag and drop. You get the reading pane. You get conversation view, which we talked about earlier, also available in Outlook web app. You can even right mouse click, get a little pop-up context menu. Again, very similar to the Outlook desktop client. Lots of those rich features making their way from the desktop client into the Outlook web app browser-based client. Calendaring, just to show that real quick. Again, a very rich, nice calendaring capability through the browser, ability to view other people's calendars here as well, and again, your people or personal contacts. And don't really have time to get to show it today, but definitely I hope that you're talking to your customers about mobile device access as well. So we looked at, the Outlook rich desktop client access on their PCs and their Mac. As we know, if they purchase Office through Office 365, they're getting the ability to install it on up to 5 PC or Mac devices, but also be sure and talk to them about the mobile device story. So, the ability to get all these things we've been talking about, mail, calendar, contacts, on their mobile devices as well. So devices such as, Windows tablets, Windows phones, iPhones, iPads, Android-based phones and tablets, ability to seamlessly connect with those devices with Office 365, also getting to Office on up to 5 smartphones and 5 tablets to get that syncing email and company directory, calendar, contacts, tasks, all the great things that we've been talking about here. So again, just a quick touch on what we can do here with this MEC demo environment. Again, encourage you to go out, utilize the demo environment, do these kinds of demonstrations for customers for not only Outlook, but lots of other things that we didn't even get to touch today. One last thing I'll show actually. Want to look at the great integration of Outlook with Skype for Business and how you get presence flowing into Outlook and Outlook web app. So, for example, I get this email from Julian. I can see his presence here. I see that he's green. I know that he's available. If I hover over his name here, I get this great little contact card with more information about him as a user. I also get these great click to communicate buttons. So if I want to reach back out to Julian via IM, I can do that here. Maybe I want to reach out via an audio call or a video call. Great experience, integration of Skype for Business with Outlook and Outlook web app to see the presence of users and have these great click to communicate buttons to quickly and easily communicate with them however I see fit. And just to wrap up here, we're going to close down the recording, and then we will open up for some Q&A and get your questions answered. So let me stop the recording now.